Heyo.
Yeah, we got kicked out of our original recordings. We may have to be quieter than usual. But we're here
We
at
have
Law
been
Center.
we have been looking around for a place to record for maybe like 30, 45 minutes, just walking around the whole college campus that we attend. It's been a crazy ride today, but we have found a location with a beautiful view. Like Jake said, we might have to be a little quiet because we are in a law center.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about freaking Wrestlemania.
I know it's WrestleMania season. WrestleMania's in a couple of days. We're recording this, I believe, on March 28th.
Someone works through it.
I know. I am working both nights of WrestleMania. Ain't that crazy?
I know. So you guys will get
Yeah.
my live reactions.
That's okay. But someone will have a little bit of money in their pocket.
That's true. But we're going to talk about, well, first off, we're going to talk about predictions. This whole episode's going to be about main events. We think about every WrestleMania main event. I know
Exactly.
them all in my noggin.
Jake has memorized every single WrestleMania main event. And like he said, this is not me bullying him, but that might explain why he's single.
I mean, if you guys are into that, ladies, or, dudes, I don't
Or
speak that way, but
others, whatever you identify as. But yeah, today we're going to just run through the WrestleMania match card first. WrestleMania 39, of course, that's happening in a couple of days.
little predictions.
Do a little predictions and tell us, we're going to say why. And then we'll run into every single WrestleMania main event and then talk about what should have been the main event.
And what we felt about the main event, if it was like a good match or not. And this is our current Restless champion. WrestleMania, that belt, that non-existent belt, is going up for grabs at this weekend. Seeing who gets the most correct predictions.
Exactly.
What's the first match?
So the first match we'll be discussing is Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio.
So who do you think's going to win that more?
All right, so we were talking about this a little bit while we were walking around the campus for like 45 minutes, and my prediction is Rey Mysterio because this man has gone through it. This man has got his ass beat by Dominic by the Judgment Day. He's been bullied for so long by his son that he needs his comeuppance, and he's going into the Hall of Fame. And most people going into the Hall of Fame before WrestleMania lose. I believe Rey Mysterio will break that tradition, and he will come out victorious. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that I will say Ray's gonna win this. I feel like he constantly. I feel bad for him. He's just beat up. I feel like he can find. It'll be such good storytelling. I understand if Dominic wins though. To retire Ray, that would be cool. But I think that Ray should win this. I hope Ray wins this. So Ray for both of us, I'd say.
Yeah, so we're both going to Rey
wait for this match.
Mysterio.
This storytelling in this match.
I know.
It's rivalry.
It's been going on for the longest time, ever since Clash at the Castle. So I hope Ray finally gets that comeuppance. But next we have the 4-way tag team match for the men's. So we have the Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders versus Alpha Academy versus Strowman and Ricochet. Who do you have?
Okay, so I'm gonna do a little fantasy booking here, but I hope this is what happens.
By the way, I believe the winner of this faces the tag champs at the next pay-per-view, which is Backlash, I believe.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I was saying Street Profits, and then Street Profits lose to whoever the tag team champions are.
We'll get to that prediction.
We'll get to that. But I think the Street Profits are going to lose, and then Montez might turn on Angelo. That'd be cold.
Ooh, interesting. I like that your prediction comes with a little bit more of a booking story.
That's why I chose Street Profits, because I feel like they, first off, one hell of a match with whoever they have.
For sure.
And, if they win or if they lose at Backlash, it's going to mean a lot more than if anyone else loses or... So.
Yeah, I think so. I'm actually going a little bit a different direction, but out of the 4 teams, Street Profits were like my number 2 to win. My number 1, I'm going with the Viking Raiders. And because I believe the tag champs, whoever they might be, who I might believe is new tag champs, will need a decisive win in their first match as champions. And also, I would like to see the Viking Raiders get more screen time and something kind of similar to a push. So I think beating these other three teams is a huge push. I think getting a match with the tag champs at a pay-per-view is a huge push. So for that reason, I'm going to go with Viking Raiders.
Yeah, I would love the Viking Raiders to get more screen time. I feel like they've just been booked so to the point where it just feels weird for them to win.
It's kind of... This type of character work could work maybe in like early 2000s or even 90s, but just... it's hard to suspend the disbelief for Vikings. So that's why, like, at least in NXT, War Raiders seemed a little bit cooler. Viking Raiders seems a little more childish. Doesn't really work as well. They
The
added
Viking experience.
and also like the whole addition of Valhalla and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Barely gotten any airtime though.
Yeah.
Like no promos, no nothing. Just Michael Cole always every 5 seconds. The new vicious Viking Raiders.
I mean, it's like it was cool. They had their own little rivalry with McIntyre and Sheamus for a bit, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a
New
great
Day.
tag team to lose to. You know,
Yeah.
so it's not like it meant too much that they lost. Yeah, and they had the thing with New Day. Well, New Day went to NXT like right after that. They got whooped.
Yeah. Street Profits, Viking Raiders.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait to get a championship.
We'll see. Next, we have the four-way women's tag match, which we have Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. And man, curse continues for Natalya just being randomly paired with the superstar.
I feel like everyone was randomly paired here for the
Exactly. Like, why are Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez a tag team?
just to get
Why is Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green? I thought Chelsea Green was doing a program with Carmelo, but I guess not.
I think it's just screen time for the ladies, or that's what these tag matches are pretty much for.
I wish they,
Which is cool.
I wish they did a battle royal instead for a chance at a singles title.
Yeah, that'd be
instead of a tag team match. But it is what it is. But who is your prediction?
You see, I guess it's got to be Ronda and Shayna.
I agree. That's also my pick.
They're the only team that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind seeing Ronda holding tag titles, I guess. I mean, tag titles should leave, if anything.
Yeah, we've always said this, that tag titles need to be retired.
The women's tag titles are terrible. Because there's nothing you can do. And I don't blame them. Like, you don't have a lot of time on a show or a lot of time on a pay-per-view. So, I mean, it makes sense. But that's the case.
Or they can bring back the Iconics. If they bring back the Iconics, that's the only way I'll be okay with them keeping the women's tag titles.
Bring back the Funkadactyls.
I don't know. I feel like Naomi might have some bad blood in the company right now.
Funkadactyl return at Wrestlemania.
You know, I heard that's what they were planning after Cameron's like Royal Rumble appearance.
Really?
But then Naomi Sasha Banks kind of happened because Sasha Banks got pulled out of the main event with Charlotte when Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte happened.
Yeah.
But okay, we're both going with Rousey and Baszler.
Yeah, there's just not much storytelling or care in that match to me.
Yeah.
I already forgot half the teams you already mentioned.
Exactly. Like the Shotzi Natalya thing, really. Like, why?
I don't know
why. But anyway, this next one's interesting. It's going to be Gunther versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus.
Another triple threat.
Oh, this one is going to be a good one, man. This one's going to be real good.
Some banger.
You know, I've really been thinking about how to book this match. How would they book this match? And obviously, I feel like Gunther retaining is the obvious choice, but I'm going to go out on a far-reaching branch. I'm going to pick Sheamus to win the match by pinning Drew McIntyre. Because it protects Gunther and his undefeated streak, and Sheamus finally gets his long-coveted Intercontinental Championship.
This is a tough one, I'd say, too. It's going either way for Gunther or Sheamus for me, because, I mean, I feel like Gunther could retain it, take it all the way to SummerSlam, whatever, lose there, or lose whenever. Or maybe Sheamus can win and beat Gunther, and then, Gunther can go off for Cody, but it's probably too early for that, but, who knows? But I guess for my official choice of who wins this, which, again, it's only one banger of a match.
Sure.
I'm really excited for this. I'm going to play it safe and say Gunther's going to keep his title.
That's a good pick.
I mean, sorry, Drew. I mean,
honestly, I would love for Drew to win too.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing. I really wouldn't mind whoever wins this match. Good for them.
Yeah, I just feel like storytelling wise, Sheamus would be a great one, but Gunther as well would be another great one. But
I mean, my boy Shamo deserves this. He's wanted it for so long.
But here's also a question: how many more matches does Gunther really have?
Gunther?
Or like when it comes for the IC title, because he has beaten a lot of people.
Yeah, but I still feel like SmackDown is a land of opportunity, and there's still a lot of superstars he hasn't faced for that title yet. But
he does need to face maximum male models still.
Honestly, right?
Mansoir.
Marseille has not.
No, that was.
I feel bad for Marseille because he keeps getting, he is suffering from overexposure during his Givenchy shoot. from the light.
Oh,
Overexposure. He couldn't wrestle the OC.
that's terrible, man.
Yeah. Also, back to the men's tags. Like,
Yeah,
the OC, bro. Why weren't they in the match?
that's right.
Why is Strowman and Ricochet a team?
I mean, I get Strowman and Ricochet are cool, but
Yeah, but like,
OC.
like literally, AJ Styles gets injured. They're like, OC, you only do house shows now.
Poor OC.
I know. I mean, they get paid. Oh, they're both gonna be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
You want to do a prediction?
Yeah, that's gonna be on SmackDown, but we'll also predict that.
Okay, cool. I mean, I guess. Well, you want to do that right now?
Yeah, let's do it right now. Okay.
Who do you think's gonna win the Andre Battle Royale?
Let's go with Bobby Lashley. So, to me, there's only two right picks for this: is Bobby Lashley. Actually, three. I'll go Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, or Bronson Reed. I think Bobby Lashley is the one who got screwed out of his match at WrestleMania with Bray Wyatt. So
yeah, what happened to that?
we still don't know. Bray Wyatt had suffered a physical illness or injury, undisclosed injury. I guess we'll never know.
Poor guy. I mean, I think that our boy, L.A. Knight,
Yeah.
is gonna win, and I feel like then he's gonna be on the show with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and he's gonna be like, "This is why I'm L.A. This is why, bro." Whatever, and then Steve Austin might come out and do an old little segment, not a match, but a little cool segment.
That would have been cool.
Fantasy booking right there.
Do you remember when Maximum Models first debuted and it was Max Dupree and I was texting you. I was like, dude, this dude when he was LA Knight in NXT he was awesome and he was dope and I wish he was LA Knight in the main roster. Well, finally we got LA Knight on the main roster. Yeah, yeah, dude. I also found that entertaining though.
It was pretty. I mean, no, what made it entertaining was Pat McAfee.
Yeah, Pat McAfee. I mean, also like Masse and Maswa, they got something good out of that because they weren't doing anything before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, LA Knight and
So Bobby Lashley. Yeah, great choices.
that was an impromptu prediction. Sorry about that. Next match.
I am sorry. Bobby Lashley, baby. I actually have the Brood Edge versus Demon Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
Or as they should start marketing it for kids, 8 in a crate.
Okay. So, who do you think is gonna win that?
I'm gonna go with Edge. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Edge because this man, when he is in his Brood persona, I believe is undefeated. He's only pulled it out rarely. Also, Finn Balor as the demon he doesn't get defeated quite often. I think only Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns have beat him as the demon.
So.
And obviously that whole Extreme Rules debacle with the turnbuckle falling down and shit.
The seizure.
Alright, so we have different opinions about the seizure. I thought the seizure was like a cool moment. And then Jake thought it was pretty stupid. I thought it was cool.
It was like far.
No, I remember watching that match with like friends who don't watch wrestling, and they were like, "Dude, what the fuck is that?" And they were so intrigued about the character. So I liked it. Yeah, I'm going with Edge because Edge is going to do big things, I suppose, after this rivalry is finally over. So I think he should go out on top with a W, and I think Finn Balor still has a lot of work to do with the Judgment Day. So I don't think a loss will necessarily like slow him down too much because you're losing to a Hall of Famer and an all-time great.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Finn's gonna win, actually.
Okay.
Because I feel like Dean persona is just a lot more vicious than the Brood persona, honestly. I mean,
but he's lost as the demon. Brood Edge has not lost. And he's also covered. The Brood Edge has covered people in blood.
I mean, I feel like Finn has been just getting loss after loss after loss a lot when it comes to Edge. For the most part, that's just what it feels like. It might not be true, but it just feels like he's getting beat up every week.
Yeah, I mean, to Edge for sure.
It's an Edge, yeah. So if I feel like he needs a win back, and Finn. That's awesome. I feel like especially in a Hell in a Cell, this is gonna be a fun match as well.
Yeah, I hope it's good because, in my opinion, the Edge Finn Balor matches have been quite underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean,
the I Quit match.
I like the I Quit one.
I thought it was too long, too slow paced. Not too much going on in the match. The finish was good.
Hopefully, it's better than Edge versus AJ. That was really depressing.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? After they were showing like the post WrestleMania 38 like footage, and Edge and AJ thought they put on a banger.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh man, I hate to break it to you.
They actually went over on time too. Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I don't know, man. That's they're probably the reason why Brawling Brutes got only a minute.
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Poor New Day. They're trying to show off for the boy Big E who just died. I mean, like rest in peace, Big E. But yeah, you are going Balor and I'm going Edge.
Yes.
Next we have the honestly match of the night right here: Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
Our Omos-Sapiens?
Let's
Let's go.
Shout out to all my Homo-sapiens, and for that reason, I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar.
Same. I'm sorry, Omos. You're like
the
the biggest jobber ever.
I love all my Homo-sapiens out there, but you can't lose. You can't beat Brock Lesnar.
Those Vince TikToks, dude. You know what I'm talking about? The Vince AI TikToks? Omos special. Get your real. I love that. Yeah, it's beginning to love Omos.
I know. And like Omos is such a funny guy in real life.
Yeah.
Like his character just so boring, you know. I wish obviously you can't stick kind of like a natural personality on top of a giant. We saw what happened to the Great Khali. Yeah, obviously. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar. When he hits the F5 on Omos, the crowd's gonna go.
It's gonna be like some Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, or Bobby Lashley, Omos type shit. Like,
yeah, they really don't think we remember last year.
I mean, keep in mind this guy stayed for Omos and Lashley, but missed almost all of Knoxville and Zayn.
Yeah, well, I wanted to see the body slam. And I was really thirsty, so I just had to get a soda during the Sami Zayn match.
That was a good match. It was like the best match.
Actually, I came back during the last 5 minutes. It was nice.
That was like the best match of the night.
Wait, was that night one or night? No, it was night two.
Yeah.
No. No, night two they had One second. Night two was the triple threat tag team match, right?
I preferred Knoxville and Zayn. It gave me Attitude Era vibes, man. Hardcore Championship Attitude Era vibes.
Maybe it's because I missed most of it. But yeah, so we're both going with Brock Lesnar.
I mean, it's fun seeing what they do on Raw, though.
Yeah.
They're nice little
It's
Raws.
kind of crazy how they get the most viewed segments on Raw out of the whole roster.
I mean, Vince is like, the numbers don't lie.
It kind of like
of Randy.
Yeah, it's really proof that the Homo-sapiens are out here.
What's the next match? Homo-sapiens.
Next, we have Damage Control versus Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus.
Sadly, as much fun this match sounds on paper, I just don't get it. It just doesn't sound.
I think it's the WrestleMania appeal. You know,
I mean, it's just the storytelling. It just feels bland. I just haven't been getting into the story.
Yeah, I'm still kind of like confused as to why Lita came out in the first place.
Yeah, why is Lita our tag team champion?
And I know Trish Stratus came out to help her best friend Lita, but like at the same time, it's not a great story, but maybe a great match. Maybe we know Becky Lynch can put on magic at WrestleMania.
This could be like a good 4-star match.
I wish it was honestly just Becky Lynch versus Bayley at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that would have been dope. And if they did some type of if they did like a last woman standing match, or
that'd be cool. That'd be like a really
or a false count anyway,
Iron
something.
Woman match.
Yeah, something.
It'd be fun.
Something. But I'm gonna go with Becky, Lita, and Trish.
Yeah, same. I mean, I feel like you can't just ruin the championship's reputation. I feel like Damage Control is kind of already.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see a Damage Control split after Mania.
That would be interesting.
Who would turn? Probably not Io because she can't cut a promo, but maybe Dakota Kai. Maybe Bayley turns on both of them.
I think it's gonna be Bayley.
Yeah, right. Bayley would be the right choice. Oh wait, but that could be a good Bayley face turn, like her getting beat up by Damage Control.
True. I feel like
I feel like we're not gonna see Bayley as a face for a while. Yeah. Even though I like Bayley as a heel too.
I've been liking her more as a heel than a face, honestly, recently.
She's nice with it.
I'm shocked. If you were told me like fucking 6 years ago or so, yeah, Bayley's gonna be one of the best heels in the WWE main roster back then.
You know, she held down the pandemic with her heel work, but I don't think it was like an awesome character during the pandemic. At least Sasha Banks really held it down, in my opinion.
No, I think she's the best part of the women's division during that time.
No, I feel like if she didn't have Sasha with her, it wouldn't have been as good.
So yeah, I mean Sasha had her fair deal in it, but
I really loved when they had all the gold. Sasha had the Raw Women's Championship. Bayley had the SmackDown. They both had the tag titles. I thought that was a cool moment.
That was cool. Yeah. Take that bloodline. You don't even have the IC or US titles.
Exactly.
Sikoa sucks. He's not ready.
Next we have, hopefully, I think it's now confirmed, the main event of night one, the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Actually, I heard Ripley and Flair was going to be main event.
I think that was last week, but I think they just confirmed it now that Sami Zayn will.
Okay.
And Kevin Owens will
if
main
they
event.
confirmed it, that's good because I was about to complain, going to rant about how Flair and Ripley should not be the main event on night one. It's this. I mean, it's awesome. It's gonna be a fun match, but the story's just not there. But anyways, this speaking of good stories,
Dude,
one of the oh my god, everyone is so hyped.
take it away.
Okay, dude. So we all know Sami Zayn bloodline situation, one of the best modern day stories, in my opinion. You know, I mean,
Yes, sir.
a lot of people can disagree. A lot of people can say it's overrated, but it is fantastic to me.
The story's been amazing.
I mean, the crowd pops for Sami, the crowd pops for Kevin Owens, unreal, and it shows you that this is probably the first time that there's a tag team match main eventing besides the first WrestleMania.
The first man, I think there's.
Or at least for the championships, I know.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you remember WrestleMania 2, they did like 3 main events in 3 different locations. One of them was a tag team match.
Oh,
it was like the British Bulldogs versus someone.
That barely counts.
Yeah, it definitely does not count, in my opinion. So, yeah, second time.
And I'm that's going to be so fun to see. And I know this is going to be like probably match of the night, especially with crowd participation.
Yeah, night ones could be crazy, though. I mean, the whole WrestleMania card is so stacked.
Yeah, it's...
So, like, who knows? There might be a sleeper.
Must be a shitty WrestleMania.
Oh man, don't say that.
It's gonna be shitty WrestleMania. Don't say that. Worse than 32.
So who are you taking?
It's gotta be Owens and Zayn, right? I mean,
I agree.
It has to be.
I agree.
I feel like Jey Uso is gonna play a good part in making Owens and Zayn win, whether it's intentional or not.
Or it could be Sammy pinning Jay to be like the cherry on top of everything. But you know what? I wish they inserted. You know who I wish was in this match though? Almost maybe a special guest referee.
Almost.
Almost
Sapiens.
Almost Sapiens rise.
Dude, I love Omos, man.
Yeah, you know, so I'm like, when I was at WrestleMania last year, I went to WrestleMania Access and Ryan Sapp was doing his show at like WrestleMania Superstore.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw The Miz, he was doing his show with The Miz, and then I saw Omos.
How big was he, bro?
Dude, he's fucking giant.
He's like 7'3" or something.
Yeah. And he's like doing, like, he had such a great personality when he was talking to him. Like, he was so lively, he was so funny. I was like, damn, bro, on TV, you suck.
Why can't you be like this, man? You should be like a friendly giant, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Omos turning face?
That would be awesome, actually.
Again, Omos Sapiens, rise. All right, so we're both going with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Special guest referee, Omos. And
I hope that's main event. I hope it's 100% official.
Yeah.
That's the main event.
Well, if it's not the main event, here's the other main event: Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair.
And I'm not excited if that's the main event because it's just after everything Owens and Zayn and Usos have done within the past few months of making some of the best professional wrestling storytelling in a good minute in WWE, at least.
Definitely.
I mean, if Ripley and Flair main events, Triple H, Hunter. What are you doing?
I don't know. There might be some like backstage politicking going on.
Maybe.
But you know what? I would say like the build has gotten better at the end of like it's so soon. Like they should have been doing this from the start. Charlotte's barely been on TV. I forgot she was champion for like the longest time.
So what would you say, Ripley or Flair?
It has to be Ripley, right?
Yeah.
I'm going with Rhea, and I will say this about their first WrestleMania match at 36. They put on a 20-minute match, one of the longest matches on the card for night one, and it was one of the most boring matches.
Yeah.
One of the worst matches on the card.
That was also during the pandemic stage, huh?
Yeah. But like there's a lot of good matches that night.
Yeah.
The John Morrison, Kofi Kingston, Jey Uso one.
The Otis Dolph Ziggler one.
Classic.
Yeah.
Elias versus Baron Corbin.
Oh my god. Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley, I think.
Amazing.
But yeah, Ripley and Flair, I'm gonna go with Ripley as well.
Yeah.
I think that
Rhea won the Rumble, and the Rumble has to start meaning something. I'm tired of Rumble winners losing the matches.
Rhea Ripley is my favorite woman in the company right now.
Mm-hmm.
She's really talented when it comes to especially character work. In ring wise, she's great. She's like a must-see spectacle. She's different. she's different. And Charlotte Flair, we've been getting the same thing over and over again. I feel like there's just no taste in her. There's no flavor when it comes to Charlotte Flair anymore. It's at least especially this championship.
She can be a face.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair is a face just does not work.
Maybe when she first was coming in as Ric Flair.
Yeah, but now we know her,
Yeah,
like we've gotten to know
she's
Charlotte.
like a 14-time champion. Like, she's a dick.
Yeah, it's not even like John Cena as KJ where they're like super like they're just getting over and over. It's just like Charlotte Flair is not as talented as she's put to be. I think she's also awesome in the ring. Yeah. I don't think her promos are interesting. I don't think she has an interesting character.
Not anymore.
I just wish she's not a good face, like I just said. So heel work kind of fits Charlotte Flair. I'm excited to see what they do with her next, though.
Yeah,
I would love to see Charlotte do maybe a year-long program in the NXT.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
It'd be cool to see her chop it up with the new bloods.
I know we talked shit about Ronda Rousey, SmackDown Women's Champion, and I prefer Flair being in this Ripley match. But Rousey versus Ripley would sound like an interesting spectacle on paper.
Interesting.
But as a match, I doubt would be as good as Flair versus Ripley.
Yeah,
but
I wonder if Ronda Rousey's gonna start training like she did when she started in the WWE.
No,
because I don't know how someone degresses so consistently.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Take that, Ronda. Don't beat us up though. Yeah. You can beat him. What? Right. But anyways, yeah. Ripley for both of us.
Yeah. I actually have Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul, the international megastar.
Paul is such a good heel, man.
Yeah, I think this will actually be this has the potential to be match of the night, in my opinion.
Dude.
Because you have Seth Rollins, who's one of the best in-ring performers in not only the WWE, but in all of professional wrestling, versus Logan Paul, the
Japan's finest.
Yeah. He's an international superstar, and he's actually put on great matches with the likes of Roman Reigns, The Miz, Rey Mysterio. So, yeah, I'm still going to go with Seth Rollins, though. What about you?
Man, I'm actually... This one's a tough one. This is one of the tougher ones to pick, because I feel like it can go really either way. And I feel like Seth Rollins has constantly been beat up by Paul on Monday Night Raw, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, there's part of me that thinks, well... Paul just came off of a loss from Roman. I feel like he wouldn't mind, or he would want to win this match. So I feel like somehow Logan Paul is going to beat Seth Rollins.
Oh, you think interference? Jake Paul, maybe?
Maybe. Some dirty tactics. Maybe The Miz.
I don't know if you watched the Impulsive podcast, but, Logan hit that line on Monday Night Raw, like, who's going to be scared of a guy named Seth?
Yeah.
And he got that line from Jake on Impulsive.
Yeah, let's be honest. Who is going to be scared of a guy named Seth?
Who's going to be scared of a guy named Jake? Oh, no offense. No offense.
What the hell, man?
Sorry.
What the hell, man? I'll have you know.
Yeah. Not a scary name, but...
Okay, Hottie. 2 ways.
It's good.
But yeah, I'm going to go Logan Paul.
Yeah, Seth Rollins. Triple H. You know what to do. Next, we have the opener for night one. John Cena versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship.
Well. I'm gonna go say Austin Theory. I've heard this one prediction of John Cena winning, and then John Cena doing an open night challenge.
Yeah.
And then Braun Breaker coming out Monday night.
I've heard same thing, but with like Jay White and stuff. All right, let me say this. I hate these ideas.
Yeah, I don't see
people. I literally watch any fantasy booking video, and it always involves some type of open challenge.
Yeah,
people aren't original with this, and also they just want it to be like the old U.S. Championship Open Challenge. Like, it's nothing new. What's the point of John Cena winning a title for one night and then just losing it immediately?
I mean, unless you're Zack Ryder.
But what would that do to Austin Theory? At least Zack Ryder won in a ladder match.
I mean, John Cena wouldn't win anything from this except, burying Austin Theory.
Yeah.
I mean, he already buried him with that promo. Don't bury him.
You know what? I wouldn't mind John Cena winning if he was consistently on Raw for the next 6 months.
Yeah, but I don't.
That's not going to happen. And the man's the peacemaker.
I mean, of course, if it wasn't for the U.S. title, it would be a different story. Then it would probably be complicated.
Yeah.
But since it is for the U.S. title, I think Austin Theory is a genuine threat. Yeah.
Did you see the promo he just cut on Monday Night Raw? Yesterday, actually.
I didn't actually.
He did it before the show started in an empty arena. Actually, a great promo. Directly, just talking into the camera the whole time. Addressed John Cena, and he killed it.
Dude, Austin Theory, he's the now.
Yeah. So let's stop talking about the future. The man's the now. I love Austin Theory's character in NXT
I lo-
when he's with the Way.
Yeah,
He
he was
was
like
so
some
funny.
fucking goon, bro.
Dude was
So
getting
stupid.
kidnapped by Dexter Lumis.
But now he's like actually like a threat. He's actually I love his character now. I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of people say he's boring. He's not. I feel like
I don't really see that.
he's like a genuine threat. He's someone who you don't see as a selfie taking jokester guy.
I didn't mind that character either.
Me
though.
neither,
Yeah.
but I just prefer this one. I love his
Yeah.
U.S. title reign. It's one of my favorite reigns of recent memory of U.S. titles.
Yeah, I'm glad Austin Theory is the champion, and I hope beating John Cena at WrestleMania really solidifies your career. No one can ever take that away from you, and I think he'll be able to do really big things in future programs with other people with this win.
I'm glad. I'm glad losing the Money in the Bank did something for him.
Right?
Yeah, like for
Yeah.
he lost Money in the Bank with
On
the
a
mid-card title.
I know.
Like, but anyway, yeah, theory. What's the next match?
Hey, and
I
that's
think our
not
last
that's
match,
not a theory.
That is
That's a fact.
spoiler. Not a
Um,
prediction. It's a spoiler.
next,
Final match.
kind of have a little nobody. I don't know. Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes. Yes, sir. So we have the American Nightmare versus Tribal
I
Chief.
really wish this. I hope this splits the title somehow. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe
how.
Backlash, but I
Maybe.
don't see it happening at Mania.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know how.
It's
But
too soon.
this is so. I feel like when Cody first won the Rumble, I feel like it was obvious that Cody was going to win. And then as we get further and further into WrestleMania season, or closer and closer to WrestleMania, I feel like it's getting harder to see who's going to win. It's
You can
it's
definitely make
believable on both sides.
you can make a case for Roman Reigns because let's let Roman Reigns get to 1,000 days because we'll never see that again in this era. I truly believe we'll never see someone have a reign this long ever again in the WWE for a long ass time.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
He's hitting Bruno Sammartino.
he can be a
Hulk Hogan
record
numbers.
breaker like Curtis Axel,
Exactly.
longest Royal Rumble entrant ever. He's still in it.
Or-
2015.
breaking records like Aaliyah, fastest pinfall in history.
Yes, I mean,
It is the most useless.
Roman needs to step his game up and be like Curtis Axel in the league.
Honestly,
But
so that should be the next WrestleMania main event for the title. Curtis Axel versus Aaliyah for the Universal Championship.
with special guest referee
Omos. Almost Sapiens rise.
But yeah, I must say. So as I was saying previously about how I thought somehow Jey Uso was going to screw the Usos, Owens, and Zayn main event, I think that Jey Uso is going to screw up Roman Reigns' event. Maybe put a chair in the back of his bag,
Oh,
which is out, and he's going to remember all the things that he first did when Roman first started his Universal title. All the things he did, how he pretty much passed him out in the middle of his own family, made his brother choke out, made him quit. You know, Jay being like, I hate you. And he's like, he's just so chill and monotone.
dude. Pandemic Roman Reigns was straight and villain. This
Oh.
literally just written out of a comic book.
Well,
But I will say
Cody.
I'm gonna also pick Cody Rhodes, but I'm gonna go with no interference. So I really think Cody winning clean is gonna set the tone for his championship reign, and it's also like a title reign like this that's been over 900 plus days. I would like to see be ended cleanly. But that's just me. So
Yeah, but you're lame.
okay, but I'm also the Wrestless champion. You're 0-3, so
Yeah, well, so
that's okay. 0-4 will be okay.
The quick recap of all our predictions.
There we go. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio.
Ray
Mysterio. 4-way tag match for the men.
Street Profits,
Viking Raiders. 4-way women's tag.
Ronda and Shayna,
Same. Gunther versus McIntyre versus Sheamus.
Gunther,
Sheamus. Next, we have Edge and Balor.
Balor,
Edge. Damage Control versus Lynch, Lita, and Trish.
Lynch, Lita, and Trish.
Lynch, Lita, and Trish. Next, we have. Did we ever say Bianca versus Asuka?
Oh, no.
Sorry, you know why we skipped over it? Because there has been no build.
That's
There's been no build, so we're not going to build it. He's not building this match for you.
Yeah, that's Triple H's job.
Exactly, but guess what? Bianca's a good champion, but she hasn't gotten the storyline she deserves. She hasn't been able to do anything with this title. Maybe Asuka will, and that's why I'm going to pick Asuka.
Yeah, same.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay. Asuka's for both of us.
Asuka.
Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Same. Next, we got Rhea versus Charlotte.
Rhea
Ripley. Rollins versus Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
Seth Rollins. Austin Theory versus John Cena.
Austin Theory.
And the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. And you almost forgot about one person. Omos. And Brock Lesnar.
Omos. Sorry, I was saving the Omos. I was saving Omos last for all my Omos Sapiens out there.
Oh, yeah.
But Omos versus Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry.
Brock Lesnar.
Oh, man. Omos Sapiens.
Omos, I love you. Omos Sapiens rise up.
This is the part where he put a smasher pass with WrestleMania main events.
Kind of. So we're going to be talking about every WrestleMania event year by year, and we're going to look at them and decide if they were truly the main event of that night.
And if you liked them or not. If they were good, and if they're not, we're going to say pass.
Yeah.
If they were, we're going to say absolute smash.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into it.
WrestleMania 1.
The very first WrestleMania main event is Mr. T, Hulk Hogan versus Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper. Should this have been the main event that night?
In 1985, this was our first WrestleMania. This was the make it or break it for the Vince McMahon and the wrestling industry and WWE or WWF at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they got all these celebrities, and one of the celebrities, Mr. T, and we talked about this in our celebrity involvement video. It's you can check that out.
That's episode 5.
Yes, and Mr. T was a part of it, and the match itself wasn't special if you look at it now, but at the time it was a spectacle to be seen. And any other match on the card was a bit lame, honestly. It wasn't lame, but it's just golden era type stuff.
I think they picked correctly for the main event.
They did. This is the best you could do. You had Mr. T, big celebrity, hanging with thunder lips over here, Hulk Hogan, and then, going against Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper, the two basic heels who put on a pretty stellar match for what it was.
People be sleeping on Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. It was insanely
Rest in
talented.
peace.
R.I.P.
Half that main event's dead right now.
Damn. Number 2, we have Hogan versus King Kong Bundy.
That's crazy. Another person who died. Let's just keep in mind most of these guys are dead besides Hulk Hogan.
Basically.
But WrestleMania 2, yeah. There were 3 main events at 3 different locations.
Yeah.
We're not going to count those other 2.
Yeah, those did not work.
Not that they're bad or anything, but
yeah, looking at the match cards, this definitely could have been the only match to be the main event. So I think they, again, did okay.
Remember I looked at WrestleMania 2 and I was doing a little celebrity matches, see what celebrity matches were awesome. I looked at Mr. T versus Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 2 in a boxing match.
Yeah.
That's one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my life. God, and I love Roddy Piper. I love Mr. T. And I love boxing, but not in WWE.
Yeah, the same Brawl for All.
Yeah, but at least Brawl for All, you had JBL get knocked out. Yes. But King Kong Bundy and Hulk Hogan in Steel Cage. Match was a bit slow paced. It was something you can pretty much expect from a time where most people thought wrestling was a for real thing. I feel like not that many people really knew it was too scripted, even though you had people coming out with names like King Kong Bundy. But whatever. But crowd was hyped up for it. It was cool seeing a blue steel cage, I guess. It's not something you would see nowadays where you'd be like, oh shit. Unless it's Omos. I want to see Omos versus Hogan in a steel cage.
Omos versus Hogan steel cage match, WrestleMania 40. Make it happen.
Make it happen for right now.
For the WWE Championship, for the United States Championship, and for the Women's Championship, all combined.
Just tape Hulk Hogan's mouth shut. We don't know what he's going to say.
Omos getting the revenge for the black community.
But
speaking of Hogan, WrestleMania 3, Hogan versus Andre.
Oh yeah, I would pass on Bundy and Hogan.
Actually, what would be the match for that for 2?
I would say the match is right, but a match for itself kind of sucks.
Yes, but we're gonna be comparing it to the rest of the matches on the card.
But
so Hogan versus Andre for 3.
That's probably another great match. That's a match where people just the crowd was into it, and even though it's again another slow paced match, especially when Andre is not in the best health
for sure.
You had a match that got everyone excited. No one has beat Andre. No one has body slammed Andre. Apparently, that's not true. but Hulk Hogan was the first one to cannonly, do it.
Yeah, tear every muscle and fiber in his body doing it, according to WWE. But this was the right choice for the main event, but it wasn't the best match on the card. I would say Savage and Steamboat.
That's like a 5-star classic.
They put on a classic for the IC title, but would it have been the main event? No, because it's not Hogan Andre.
I mean, Meltzer gave Hogan and Andre a negative 5 stars. That's pretty impressive. It wasn't that bad. I mean, compared to stuff like a zombie lumberjack match, that's pretty bad. I mean, Hogan and Andre was actually pretty intense. It was monumental. I feel like most people who have a casual understanding of what wrestling is knows about that body slam moment.
Yeah, exactly. It's legendary.
It's again not as good as Steamboat vs. Savage, which was an incredible match. Even to this day, you can look at it and still, can appreciate it. Hogan, for sure. Andre, slow, but I believe it's rightfully a good main event and one of the best stories leading up to WrestleMania.
For sure. Well, the best match won't always be the main event, as we'll see throughout the history of WrestleMania. But definitely WWE, for the most part, gets it right with their main events. Next is the WWE Championship Tournament held at WrestleMania 4, and the finals was Randy Savage versus Ted DiBiase.
That was
the $1 Million Man.
That was, I guess, all right. I mean, for a match without Hulk Hogan, Hulk Hogan seems to really like to put himself on the spotlight.
Yeah,
he's still in that.
Hogan got DQ'd in the semifinals, or double counted out with Andre.
Yeah. And then it was DiBiase and Savage, which is a nice change of pace, I guess. But I mean, I feel like it's pretty good. It's pretty good seeing quality wise is a bit. I mean, it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing special. I don't remember anything from the match, but I feel like it's a decent main event. It's good not to have Hogan, I guess. Even though he still put himself in the match somehow.
Yeah.
Kind of just helped Savage out, got the W Championship for the man.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I would pass when it comes to quality wise, but I guess it's a right main event.
For sure. Next we have Randy Savage versus Hulk Hogan.
Oh, and then the Mega Powers explode. God, these guys in real life and in kayfabe have a pretty weird relationship.
I know, right?
Like, holy shit, they either hate each other or love each other, man. Usually they hate each other. But, like, remember that one time Hulk Hogan got a black eye or something? Apparently because of Randy Savage?
Yeah.
God, Randy.
Shout out Randy.
But, well, maybe not shout out Randy. I think he did something with Stephanie McMahon. Besides that, the rumors must say, as the rumors say.
Yeah, well,
the rumor mill.
Again, that main event was very fitting, but a match that's actually slept on the card, I would say, is Jake Roberts versus Andre the Giant. It's actually pretty dope on the card. Could have been main event if Hogan and Savage weren't there, but since they were, they made the right choice.
Yeah, they made the right choice when it came to that main event. Randy Hogan was actually a pretty good match, I'd say. Like, it wasn't, again, most of the matches you don't expect classics. But you expect
especially not Hogan matches.
Especially not Hogan matches, but you expect moments. And there were some pretty good moments. Another good case of storytelling. I mean, these are the two top stars in WWF at the time.
For sure.
Face stars. And then you have Savage attacking our baby boy Hogan.
Yeah.
Thunder Lips.
Speaking of top two stars, we have next Hogan versus Warrior, who would become the next star after Savage. Warrior
giving Hogan a good old-fashioned sloppy head.
Just giving him a blowjob for like 5 minutes in the ring.
Oh, man, yeah. But for real, Battle of the Dicks. Assholes. They were pretty bad people. I don't like...
Especially Warrior. Warrior's like king jerk, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, when I was a kid, I used to love him because I was like, he's so cool.
He shakes the ropes.
And I was like, why is he not in a Hall of Fame? But
yeah, they got it right. Hogan Warrior was the only match. It was a double title match.
This was probably one of Hogan's better matches when it comes to like the golden era, in my opinion. Because I mean, it was a pretty fun match, I guess. I mean, it was another good storytelling, I guess. Face versus face. I think Ultimate Warrior had to step down the IC title because you couldn't hold 2 championships at the same time, apparently. Yeah. Which is, back.
We got that cool visual of him raising both belts at Mania. Yeah. And the yellow strapped IC title, too.
Yeah, and they got it right. The match itself was pretty decent, especially for a Warrior Hogan match.
Yeah.
But, crowd was definitely into it. I bet Hogan couldn't take that pin.
No, he
had to kick out at 3. Yeah, he had to make it about himself yet again.
Always.
Yeah.
Next we have Hogan versus Slaughter. And this is a case where I actually think they got it wrong. First of all, this is not a title match. Just Hogan versus Slaughter. America versus, I think it's Iran. Because Slaughter had turned on America.
Dumb. He's like, oh man, poor Slaughter. He could have got killed. He almost did get killed.
Yeah.
He was just... out here like hate America in the middle of the Gulf War.
I know, dude.
Hanging out with what Saddam Hussein.
I mean, Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik and whoever the other guy was, Mustafa.
Yeah, Colonel Mustafa. But I thought Savage versus
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior should have main event for the WWE Championship, of course.
That was with what's it called? Miss Elizabeth coming back, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would have been definitely the better main event.
Right.
I mean, but I guess again, since Hogan's the top star and I guess the
Fuck Hogan.
main event eye candy during that time. That's
Hogan
why
main
he's
eventing everything.
main eventing everything. But when it comes, if you were to look at this, I don't know, nowadays, definitely when Savage came back with Elizabeth, people were crying, man.
Yeah, it was huge.
It's great. I mean,
Huge.
he was getting beaten up by Sensational Sherry or something.
Yeah.
And Miss Elizabeth's like, ah, bitch. That was rad, dude.
For real.
I mean, but yeah, they got the main event wrong there. That's a pass. And even the Slaughter Hogan match sucked too. But Slaughter did bleed a little bit. He was fucking like, man, you can't be showing this to kids.
But guess who's in the main event again?
No.
It's Hogan.
No. It's not.
It's Hogan Sid.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was thinking about the next WrestleMania.
But that's also Hogan.
No, it isn't.
All right. It's Hogan versus Sid, and they got it wrong again. Because again,
that's a no.
Yeah, it's not a title match either, and it should have been either Savage Flair for the WWF title or one of the best matches of the night, Piper versus Hart for the Intercontinental.
That was a great one, but I think definitely should have been Flair versus Savage. No.
You can't have the
No. You know what? I don't even think it should have been Flair versus Savage or Hart versus Piper. It should have been, and it's not on the card, it should have been Flair versus Hogan for the WWE title.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you have two of the top stars in the whole industry at the same time.
And then you could have finally seen the best of the NWA versus the best of the WWF.
And you mess it up.
We saw it in WCW.
Yeah, but WWE, they had both of them in their palms.
Yeah.
Could have done a good WWE title for you. Still put Hogan in the main event. Probably still put on a decent match.
But Hogan won Flair at the Royal Rumble.
Maybe he shouldn't have done that then.
By being a heel.
Maybe Flair should have just eliminated Hogan.
Yeah. Hogan was doing the most heel shit, and we're just like, everyone's gonna love me.
I mean, come on, man. You got eliminated fair and square.
I know.
You can't be doing that, but nah.
Yeah.
Flair and Hogan should have main evented, and that whole Hogan Sid match was terrible. One of the worst WrestleMania main events ever. You had Papa Shango like, oh, should I?
It's like, oh,
coming in late, and then Ultimate Warrior coming back. I mean, who wants him back? No one.
Honestly, yeah.
So,
but at least Hogan would redeem himself next year at the main event with a 28-second victory over Yokozuna for the WWE Championship.
Not the main event.
No, it's not. Why did Bret Hart have to lose that match?
Yeah, Bret Hart versus
because Hogan was fucking in McMahon's ear, and he's telling him, "Yeah, this kid, he's not ready. He can't hold the title."
That's why he got beat up by Randy Savage.
What a bitch.
I think maybe Hogan's a bit nicer now.
Probably.
I would hope so. I feel like he found God.
I mean, he lost his legs.
He lost his legs. I mean,
he probably still racist with this stuff.
But it's okay. But
yeah, Hogan versus Yoko should not have been the main event. The main event should have been just Hart versus Yoko, and with Hart winning.
Like, I mean, if anything, maybe Hogan comes out, body slams Yoko, whatever. Hurrah.
Yeah, and it could set up a match for like next year.
Yeah, but no. I mean, I feel like they just ruined Hart's spotlight. Yeah. Didn't do anything for Hogan. Didn't do anything for Hart. Didn't do anything for Yoko. It only it did something for Hogan. Just fucking
gave him another title ring. But guess what? Next year, Hart would have his revenge when he faced Yoko in the main event of Mania. This time, no Hogan.
No.
Yeah. You know what was on this card, though? HBK versus Razor Ramon, first ever ladder match.
And then Owen Hart and Bret Hart, right?
Owen Hart, Bret Hart in the very first match of the night. But Owen winning.
But I don't think those should have been the main events, despite how much better they are.
But Bret Yoko kind of seemed like the match to do. Yeah,
it seemed like the match to do. It just seemed right. Of course, it wasn't at all from the links. Maybe, if anything, Bret Hart and Owen Hart main eventing it. But then there's no WWE title on the line. Maybe somehow one of them got the WWE title. You know, like Brett has a WWE title or Owen has a WWE title, and they fight in the main event. That would have been awesome.
Honestly.
And that they would put on that 5-star classic for a bigger, championship. But that was the opener, right?
Yeah.
And that was a
Bret
hell
Hart
of an opener.
wrestled the opener and the main event, won both matches.
I think that was one of the few wrestling events, especially in WWE, where Meltzer gave him 5 stars.
Yeah.
2 5-stars.
2.
In one pay-per-view. That was one good WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God.
But the next year, I was looking at this card, and it seemed like kind of a lame WrestleMania to me, because the main event was Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow.
Okay. So, there's only one right answer. It should have been HBK and Diesel.
Yeah, and
for the WWE it's for the WWE Championship. Why is Lawrence Taylor main eventing WrestleMania?
Yeah, the whole card in itself did not look very appealing, nor entertaining. But definitely, at least the WWE Championship should be in the main event, right?
Like, I mean, take that, CM Punk. You've never main evented WrestleMania, but you know who did? Lawrence Taylor.
Let's go.
But nah, yeah, it should have been Michaels and Nash. I mean,
yeah,
good storytelling. The match itself was okay.
Yeah,
it was nothing special. The main event itself was alright.
Yeah, but HBK would have a 60-minute classic with Bret Hart the next year at main event at WrestleMania, and that's the right choice. That's the perfect match to put on.
The dream that came true. that was the announcing call, right? I mean, it's true. Michaels, man. You know, what a nice guy Michaels was in the 90s. He deserved it. He was so wholesome. He was so kind to everyone. And yeah.
Next year, we have Undertaker versus Sid.
What is this? WrestleMania?
I believe this is 13?
13, yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Austin Hart.
Austin Hart, the 5-star I Quit Classic.
It's honestly one of my favorite matches of all time.
I mean, yeah, it's fucking fantastic.
It's a great match.
You can debatably say that's the match that started the Attitude Era.
I would say that's probably the most well-paced match I've ever seen.
Really? It was great. Like the double turn at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Like everything built so perfectly. Bret Hart. Every hit Bret Hart landed on Stone Cold Steve Austin seemed like it had purpose to it.
Yeah.
And same vice versa. So I think that should have definitely been the main event. But Austin would be in the main event next year when he faced HBK for the WWF title. They got it right.
Yeah, they got it right.
It's Austin 316.
Austin didn't really like that match, actually, I heard. He was a bit disappointed from his first championship reign. And
it was okay.
It was nice.
He had Mike Tyson.
It was a fun match. Mm-hmm. You know, I didn't hate it.
The finish was dope.
You had Mike Tyson just interfering, just punching bitches. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, that was a good HBK Austin smash shot. It's correct choice.
Yeah. Next, we have the very first meeting of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So yeah, this is the very first meeting of Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, but I will say it's not their best meeting.
No.
Yeah.
It's a nice meeting though. All
right. I think a better match on the night was actually Kane versus Triple H.
Austin Rock, that was for the title, right?
Yes.
So I would say Austin Rock, keep that as the main event, smash, and I think that Chris Jericho said it perfectly. It's very rare where you have an icon for each era. You have John Cena, you have Hulk Hogan,
Undertaker, all these guys, Roman Reigns.
It's rare to have 2 icons in one era.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have big stars like The Undertaker, but you have Austin and The Rock in one era, in one time. Like Chris Jericho said it best. You don't get 2 big stars like that usually at the same time.
No, sir.
I mean, even Randy Savage was in the shadow of Hulk Hogan a little bit. Austin and Rock were on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool to see him in this match. They really deserved it, and it was all right.
Yeah.
It was a good birth of what we're to be.
For sure. They would go on to have an amazing trilogy. But next we have the Battle of the 4 McMahons.
Why?
Why?
I believe this is the one WrestleMania where there's maybe 1 or 2 singles matches.
Yeah, not a lot.
But
this is the right main event. There's too much star power here not to main event. Who else is main eventing?
This match was lame. I'm not going
to... Yeah, it's not a good match, but look, let's say you're about to plan out the matches and you see this match, you're definitely going to slot it main event.
But there could be some editing done, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little bit of editing here. If anything, it should have been either Triple H versus The Rock, or maybe
it should have just been Triple H versus The Rock.
It didn't really need to be a McMahon in every corner.
Yeah,
that's weird. Why are you gonna make a whole?
It always seems like the McMahons are just interacting, injecting themselves into everything.
So that was the it was just that was the gimmick, that was the story, and it was dumb, and it was I mean, it's kind of weird for Mick Foley just to randomly be in there, and I guess Big Show did win the Rumble technically.
Yeah, but like they didn't have to expose that.
Yeah, I know they have to expose that. I mean, it's good mentioning it, I guess, but The Rock.
Yeah, they could have had a match like Rock versus Big Show, see who faced Triple H.
Yeah, but they didn't really have to do that whole McMahon every corner. I feel like that was just
not a good match.
No.
But next we have Austin and The Rock at WrestleMania 17. This was the right choice.
That was fantastic.
One of the best WrestleManias of all time.
Yeah, I mean, that match had what, Mr. McMahon versus Shane McMahon too, and that match was actually banger.
Yeah,
that match was actually kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Right?
With the fucking comatose Linda McMahon. Oh my god!
You got the amazing triple threat ladder match between the Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian.
You had Benoit. Who did he go against?
Benoit Jericho.
Benoit Jericho, I think. It was someone good. It was either Benoit Jericho
or Benoit Angle. Yeah. Anyways, great card. Right. Yeah. Right main event. Next we have Triple H versus Chris Jericho. This is the wrong main event.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
it should have been The Rock versus Hulk Hogan.
And here's the deal. Yeah, it's for the WWE Championship. We get it, but you had Hogan and The Rock.
Yeah,
everyone wanted that.
You need that. That was the biggest moment of the night, and the biggest moment needs to be in the main event.
Like you can't have the biggest moment or like pretty much just cover a shadow over your main event. This has happened too many times in WWE's history, and this is an example of this. And we're going to see more examples as this list carries on. So Hogan and Rock should have been the main event.
Next, we have Lesnar versus Angle. I actually disagree with this one.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Let me guess. You're going to think Rock Austin, or
definitely Rock Austin or Jericho HBK. Jericho HBK was the best match of the night, in my opinion.
It was best match of the night,
but not main event. Listen, I wish The Rock held on to the title going into the match. He lost it to Brock. Because, damn, bro. This is Stone Cold Steve Austin's very last match.
Yeah.
Well, obviously until last year. But this was an awesome match. It was like a fucking spot fest. It was Angle Lesnar was a great match. Don't get me wrong. And I'm actually not even complaining. If that's the main event, that's great. But if Austin versus The Rock was the main event, I wouldn't be upset either.
I feel like Lesnar and Angle was the right choice. I mean, actually, I think Lesnar and Angle was a better match than Jericho and Michaels, in my opinion. Lesnar and Angle was
I like
another spot best. It was fun. It was Lesnar's definitely up there as one of his best matches, despite breaking his neck.
I think the Lesnar and Angle SmackDown Iron Man match is better.
And this is the only main event where both participants use their real names, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I think Lesnar and Angle is the right main event. Fun main event. And another good WrestleMania. I feel like it's under talked about. It's really good.
Yeah, really good. 19.
Yeah.
Next we have Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Chris Benoit. Sorry. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Redacted.
Yeah. Okay. This is one of my, I guess, like favorite matches of all time.
Dude, this is dope. This is the right choice.
One of my favorite triple threats of all time.
Really great match, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, you had Evolution versus the Rock and Sock Connection.
Yeah, you had Angle and Guerrero for the WWE title. You had Lesnar and Goldberg.
Yeah, you had the Undertaker coming back as the Dead Man.
Yeah, there's a lot of good in this, and main event was the cherry on the top. I mean, this was without this main event, WrestleMania 20 probably wouldn't have been as good as it, was. But storytelling here was fantastic. You had Benoit trying to fulfill his destiny of finally winning a world title. You had Triple H who led the fucking house, man, holding the world championship and leading Evolution. Then you had Shawn Michaels trying to get revenge for everything Triple H has done to him. Mm-hmm. And it's like Shawn Michaels just kind of shoved himself into the match, but
definitely worth it.
It was worth it. Everyone did something in this match.
It was like the only triple threat match where I see everyone consistently involved the whole time. Like, no one's just laying on the outside for no reason.
Poor Michaels, his sexy boy face got covered in blood.
I know, bro. But it's okay.
And Benoit tapped Triple H out clean.
Yeah. It was a great match.
Yeah.
Next, we got Triple H versus Batista. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
This is the best story of that year.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I can't think of any stories on top of my head.
Well, this is like one of the best examples of long-term storytelling.
Yeah.
The breakup of Evolution is amazing. Batista slowly turning on Triple H, and then finally, boom! That shit was awesome.
I feel like this was like one of the few instances in this era of WWE where long-term storytelling was perfectly played out.
Yeah.
That one of the best face turns of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And the main event, the match itself
Solid.
was all right.
Yeah, solid.
But the story was great. So
Exactly.
the main event was correct.
And for the third year in a row, Triple H is back in the main event. He's facing John Cena. And this is, again, a great build. And this is really what we see here is a heel taking advantage of a crowd that hates the face.
Yeah.
They really hate the face.
Definitely not match of the night.
Yeah, good match though.
Angle and Michaels. Doesn't deserve to be main event, but what a match.
Honestly.
What a match.
Definitely.
Two of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yeah,
Wrestling
and we actually just had a WrestleMania match bracket recently come out, and that match was not on the bracket. Could you believe that?
Crazy, dude.
Yeah.
What's the next match?
Next is going to be Shawn Michaels versus John Cena.
This one was okay. This match was rightfully the main event.
Yeah.
I
don't know, man. I actually don't know because I think Batista Taker was better.
I think Lashley and Umaga in Trump versus Trump versus McMahon hair versus hair match.
Maybe,
but
no. I think Batista and Taker was the better match, and
whoa, really?
Yeah,
nah, man.
And like the better build.
I mean, it may have had the better build, but Michaels and Cena had the better match.
Michaels is the most consistent man in WrestleMania history, but this is probably not one of
whoa.
If we're ranking all of his WrestleMania matches, this is towards the bottom.
I like Michaels and Cena more than like Michaels and Jericho.
No.
Honestly,
no.
Dude. No,
seeing Chris Jericho hit that sweet chin music is too sweet.
This match wasn't as good as the match they had, I believe, the Monday after.
Yeah,
that match was amazing.
Exactly.
That match was amazing.
Exactly.
But
that really overshadowed WrestleMania.
And it's just the Batista and Taker match was 10 minutes long.
Yeah, that was good.
I mean, it was good, but it's not even in my top 10 favorite Undertaker matches.
Well, Undertaker has too many good matches.
So, I mean,
same thing with Shawn Michaels. But next year Taker gets in the main event when he faces Edge in the main event.
This one's the right choice.
Yeah, you could put Orton, Triple H, and Cena,
which are very slept on.
Yeah, really great triple threat. But they made the right decision, I say.
Yeah,
both were good matches.
Yeah, definitely.
They definitely got the next one wrong, which is Triple H versus Randy Orton. One of the best builds ever to one of the worst matches.
Yeah.
It's not even a bad match, it's just really underwhelming.
Yeah, it's hard to follow. Again, we just mentioned this, like with Hogan and Rock. Like, it's hard to. You don't want your main event to be shadowed over one of the best matches, one of the best moments.
Yeah.
You have Taker versus Michaels at WrestleMania 25.
That match was not supposed to be as good as it was.
You have two 40-year-olds going at it.
Yeah.
Make it match of the night.
I would say WrestleMania 25, the way I would describe it in general, is underwhelming. And then you have this one shining light with like Michaels Undertaker.
And which makes up that whole entire pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I still think it's a great pay-per-view. But now I think about
5 stars.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a perfect example of good wrestling.
Yeah.
Like just pure good wrestling.
Some people just don't know.
And then WrestleMania 26, it was Michaels and Taker again. And this was and by the way, going back to 25, I think that Orton and Triple H could have been the right main event. But it's just Taker and Michaels was just so good.
Also, why was Orton versus Triple H just like a regular match, not like
it should be like a
no stipulation
or something like that.
At least like Extreme Rules or something, because they went through way too much shit to not use weapons.
He barged into your house, man.
I know, right? But then he pulled out a sledgehammer anyway.
He kissed your wife. A simple RKO isn't going to do it, man.
I know. But next, Taker versus HBK. This is the right main event, but I will say I really did enjoy the Cena Batista match.
Yeah.
And I love that feud. John Cena versus Batista in 2010.
Yeah, that was a very slept up feud.
Yeah.
But yeah, perfect as it is, Taker and Michaels again, WrestleMania career versus streak. One of the best storytelling. Another good example of long-term storytelling in WWE during this era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next we have Miz versus John Cena. What the fuck? This is not the right match. This is definitely not the right match in my opinion. I know it's for the WWE Championship. I know it sets up The Rock. But you have Triple H versus The Undertaker on this card. And it's one of my favorite matches, personally.
I think Triple H and Undertaker was great. I don't think it was main event worthy.
It could have been. Could have been
I mean,
because it was
if
so
we're
fucking
being
good.
technical here, what should have been the main event was Edge versus Alberto Del Rio because he won the fucking Rumble.
Oh, then Sheamus should have been in the main event.
Yeah, I mean, what's going on here, man? Shinsuke should have been a main eventer by this point.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I mean, this is a tough one because it's
The
like
match sucked. Miz Cena.
Miss Cena sucked. Del Rio and
Edge, it was a short match.
I mean, yeah, it's
Edge retired.
because like I don't know. This one's a tough one actually. Maybe they should have just not made Miz champion, or maybe they should have.
I mean,
Because Miz wasn't ready then.
at least Miz gets to look back on his career and say, "Hey, I main evented WrestleMania."
Yeah, and I have big nuts.
Yeah, and I only main evented so I could set up The Rock versus John Cena.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like John Cena should have just.
He should have just won.
He should have just wrestled someone else, maybe, or maybe it's I don't know. Because I love Triple H and Taker match of the night, and besides that Snooki match, match of the night. But was it main event caliber? Like, was the story that good? I mean, it was pretty good, but I feel like the match followed. Which next WrestleMania, amazing WrestleMania,
John Cena versus The Rock.
another toughie.
Yeah, because you have the Hell in a Cell, right?
Yeah, and that's the good storytelling.
Yeah, and that's arguably the best match of the night. But you can't have John Cena versus The Rock and not put it in the main event.
Exactly. So I think they did the right choice.
Yeah, they definitely did the right thing, but it wasn't the best match.
Either or, it wouldn't have been too bad.
I still think, like, let's say, like, they switched it around, people would have been talking about John Cena versus The Rock the next day, like, over that. I think, because that's the biggest match, one of the biggest matches of all time. But shout out to...
I think that if they didn't announce it a year before, then maybe it shouldn't have been the main event.
Yeah, thank God they did.
They announced it a year before, and I guess that's why it's the main event, and that's cool and all.
I mean, it's also Dwayne Johnson versus John Cena.
Man, but Taker and Triple H. Dude.
I know. I just wish they had 2 night like WrestleManias back then.
Yeah.
But next we have The Rock versus Cena again, and what I wish they did here was Rock Cena versus Punk. Rock versus Cena versus Punk.
That's what it should have been, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so I really do think Rock, Cena, and Punk would have been an amazing main event for that WrestleMania.
No, I love Punk and Undertaker. Great match.
Yeah, awesome.
Like,
definitely.
I don't want no twice in a lifetime, right?
Yeah, you can't call it once in a lifetime and just do it again.
I mean, it just didn't mean anything the second time. The
Rock shouldn't have been WWE champ.
He shouldn't have been.
No.
But maybe if he was, then maybe make Punk in it, and then Cena can pin Punk or whatever he needs to do.
I also hate that Punk got pinned from a people's elbow.
I know, right?
You know, but yeah.
You know, yeah, it should have been Punk. And Lawrence Taylor main evented, not CM Punk.
Exactly.
Make that CM Punk.
But next we have Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton versus Batista.
Now, I was more of a fan of that one match, the Divas Battle Royal. That should have main evented, and that should revolutionize the women's wrestling.
Yeah.
But no, they made the right choice. Originally, they were going to do Orton versus Batista, but
that would have failed.
Since so many people canceled the WWE Network or wanted to cancel it.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't even go to WrestleMania that year.
Yeah. So, I mean, they fixed it up. They changed it. Good for them.
Picked the right winner, too. But next we have another triple threat. We'll start off as a singles match. Roman versus Brock, and then the cash-in of the century. Seth Rollins.
Cash of the century.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was another good one. This was something I didn't expect.
Yeah, the match was ass with Roman and Brock. The match was so ass with Roman and Brock. At least we had
No, it wasn't ass.
It was terrible.
No, it wasn't.
It was bullshit.
Great. It was like better than anyone thought it was going to be. It was a hard hitting fair.
It was literally Roman didn't get any offense.
Nah, man, he did. It was like Styles and Lesnar. Not as good, but it was a great match. Look back on that match. We can watch that match together.
Okay, we'll watch that match together.
It is a great match.
I don't trust you no more.
Like even like that was like the second best Lesnar Reigns match. Even without Rollins, it would have been decent. But with Rollins, it made it even better.
I think fans would have gone home very unhappy if it was just...
Nah, man. The crowd was into it. They were, man.
They were into Roman getting his ass beat, for sure. Because everyone wanted to see that.
It was a good match. I had fun watching.
Next, we have Triple H versus Roman Reigns. No.
That was the wrong one.
No, it honestly should have been the women's match.
The
women's triple threat.
I don't think it should have been the women's match. I feel like again this is some re-editing. Should have been
Dean Ambrose versus Roman, I guess.
Dean Ambrose versus Roman, or if you're gonna make Triple H champion, some people are saying Dean Ambrose versus Triple H, but I don't think that. But Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns would have been a fun match. Two Shield members, two faces.
Yeah, but if we just take the card as it is, I would definitely slot the women's triple threat into the main event rather than this match. I thought it was a better match than this.
It's a better match. I don't know if the story's quite. I mean, this. Yeah,
match for me.
I don't know. I feel like the people wouldn't be too into it. And these are 3 stars that literally just came like 2 months ago, and they're all going to main event. I mean,
yeah. But we have Roman versus Undertaker next.
That was
why
terrible.
Should have been Seth Rollins versus Triple H. Thought that was better.
Who's WWE champion at this point? Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt? Nope.
Exactly.
And then it should have been what Jericho was going to say: Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens for the Universal title. It should have been that. But then they removed the Universal title out of the equation, gave it to Goldberg, and then it was Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. I don't want that.
And then the Chris Jericho Kevin Owens match, Vince McMahon proclaimed the worst match he's ever seen. What the fuck is he talking about?
Listen, dude.
Yeah, what is he talking about?
But it should have been Jericho and Owens for the Universal title.
Yeah.
The match of the night then was, in my opinion, Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles.
Honestly.
That was pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie.
It was a good match. Next we have Lesnar versus Reigns again.
Why?
And with Lesnar going over.
Why?
Yeah.
It should have been AJ versus Nakamura.
Yeah, and hopefully they could have put it on a better match.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because their match was not the best.
Hopefully they would have had more time and, more time to prepare. Because I don't know, it was just...
That's what I also put should have been the main event.
It should have been AJ Nakamura. I mean, you have everyone wanting it. It was a dream match in WWE. And
yeah.
But I don't know, maybe they're just racist.
Speaking of racism, we have Becky versus Charlotte versus Rousey when it should have been Kofi Mania.
Oh yeah, it should have been Kofi Mania. I get they wanted to revolutionize the women's, wrestling, which is I'm all for it. But was this the right time to do it when you had Kofi Mania running wild?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was cool to see that the match itself wasn't bad, and it was cool seeing Becky winning both titles because everyone wanted her to win. But you know what I'm saying?
This WrestleMania 35 is not a great card, but it was actually a card where the fans wanted to win one.
Yeah.
Yeah. They kind of just gave it to everyone. Okay, next we have our first 2-night WrestleMania. We have Taker versus Styles in the first night, and Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar in the second night. I think they got them both right.
Yeah, despite McIntyre and Brock being kind of ass.
Yeah. You can say Fiend,
but it was a good moment.
I guess you can, if you want another cinematic match, you can put Fiend Cena, but I think it was too...
Yeah, especially for Taker's last match, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they got it right.
Yeah, they got it right.
Next, they have Bianca versus Sasha in the first night, and Roman Edge versus Daniel Bryan in the second, which I also think they got right again.
They did.
They're on the money.
Both great matches, too, by the way.
Yeah. Next, they have Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's right. I said Stone Cold Steve Austin. What? Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens. They got that right. And Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. They built the whole WrestleMania around this match, so it had to be the main event.
Greatest main event of all time, they said.
Yeah, but it definitely, terrible build. Terrible, why does it need to be a unification match?
It didn't have to.
Yeah.
What it should have been.
I will say the best match from that, first night, especially Bianca with Becky. Such a great match.
I believe that, if anything, it should have been... If you're going to have Roman versus Brock, make it just for the Universal title. It didn't have to be a unification match.
Why?
Now we have... I get Roman is trying to show his dominance, but you can still show your dominance by beating Brock Lesnar.
And, I think it's more impressive to, they say he's had the Universal title for over 900 days and the WWE Championship for over 300 days. Dude.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything, actually.
Now we're on to this year's WrestleMania. Did they get it right? It's in a couple days, but Sami Zayn versus Kevin Uso in the first... Oh, sorry, I said Kevin Uso. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens versus the Usos in the first night, hopefully. And the second night, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Sounds correct.
It sounds correct. Apparently, it could be possible that Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair is main eventing night one. If that's the case, that is the wrong move. So I hope it's not the case. But yeah.
Yeah.
That was our little main event thing. A little rushed. I apologize for that. Hopefully we'll be back in our own little room again. We kind of just got
maybe
thrown
in. A nice spot. We have an incredible view.
Yeah, you guys can't see it, but that's on you. And especially if you're on Spotify, you definitely can't see it. Anyways, remember, guys,
Stay restless.
Hello, Homo sapiens.